incredible images a drone can provide. Fall colors, sunsets, landscapes, you name it. We use them here, in fact, to give you a better vantage point of a breaking news scene, a traffic mess, a fire. Well, first responders across the country have certainly taken notice, and they're being used right now in Texas as searches continue after those horrible floods. In Auburn, Alabama, they have a drone that can stay up in the air for 2 hours. They plan to use it in many different ways, including on college football Saturdays.
You'll probably see it a whole lot on game day operations, crowd control. If we have anything that's going on at Toomer's Corner, we'll put it up in the air just to monitor crowds and make sure that we don't have vehicles in areas that they don't need to be in.
More than 1,700 law enforcement agencies across the country are using drones, according to the Electronic Frontier Foundation, which includes, by the way, 30 right here in North Carolina. And it looks like Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police will soon be on the list. Back in January, the department announced a Drones as First Responders program. Those flying live cameras can be sent out ahead of officers on the ground.
This means the first officer to arrive will have a much clearer picture of the situation before any interaction occurs. This information can help officers de-escalate situations faster and lead to safer outcomes for everybody involved.
Now, last week, the city started taking bids from drone companies. Now, groups like the American Civil Liberties Union, they've expressed their concern over the proliferation of drones in police work. They worry about privacy and unwarranted surveillance. CMPD Chief Johnny Jennings says he understands those concerns. He says policies will be in place to prevent misuse, and they plan to learn from departments already using drones. One of those is Oklahoma City. They just won the NBA title, and police drones helped keep the celebration, the parade there afterwards, safe. Sergeant Dax Laporte runs the program.
And that is a great example, expecting very large crowds. So you want to take the bad actors out of the mix. And so, yeah, we continuously had drones in the air monitoring the entire parade route, monitoring, keeping an overwatch of all of the people there to partake in the festivities and make sure that they felt safe and we're safe.
How valuable is that information to have that?
It's absolutely invaluable. There's been multiple success stories that, we could spend a whole lot of time on, but, whenever you get a child that's autistic, nonverbal, attracted to water, you've got officers searching the field, everybody's looking and not able to find this child. And then you deploy a drone that looks at a different altitude and has a different angle of approach and ends up finding this child right before they get to water and, being able to reunite that child with the parents. Yeah. It's absolutely invaluable.
So how quickly from call to drone in the air can you do this?
Relatively very quick. On average, usually it's maybe 30 seconds.
That fast. Yes. So you've got airspace cleared at that point already. You have priority over these things, correct?
In the grand scheme of things, yes. We were one of the first agencies in the United States to be granted a no visual observer certificate of authorization, or a COA, up to 200 feet. And so that allows our remote flight deck pilots to launch a drone and then fly to that call.
How often are your drones going up?
We have 10 docks in place now. And since June the 16th, we have flown 184 flights, which is averaging 8 per day.
I know when the chief here was first talking about it, questions of privacy always come up, and how might this be used? How do you handle that? Do you have a privacy policy, and has that been explained in the community?
When they're launched, the camera stays at a neutral plane. It's not looking down in anybody's neighborhood, backyards, businesses, anything along those lines. And it's not until the drone starts getting close to the actual call for service that the camera angle starts dipping down. And then we make sure that the pilots that are flying them are truly focusing on that call, and they're not stepping outside of the bounds of what they're there to do.
As Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police go down this path, what advice would you give them?
The same thing that I tell everybody that reaches out to us. It is a game changer in public safety. The end goal is protecting and providing the service to the community. And this absolutely is a force multiplier by either sending a drone when an officer may be tied up on something else and being able to clear that call, or getting that situational awareness, the eyes in the sky, to where you not only keep your public safety safe, but you also keep your residents safe.
In the meantime, we wait to find out when this might happen here in Charlotte.